Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about something a lot of guys, but also women, get uncomfortable with, even though we all know it's true, and that is looks actually matter in dating. I don't care what you think, I don't care what you say, they absolutely matter. They matter in life in general. Now, before anyone gets defensive, this isn't about saying that looks are everything or that personality doesn't matter or that people are shallow. I'm not saying that. It's about being honest about how attraction actually works. Because pretending that looks don't matter doesn't make dating more fun. It just makes people confused. And if you're anything like me, when it comes to dating, I like to be as unconfused as possible. I like to have some clarity when it comes to dating. So let's start with the obvious part that somehow still needs saying, and that is that attraction starts visually. It always has, it always will. So before someone knows your values, your humor, your depth, your intentions, your hobbies, your personality, they see you. That first impression happens in seconds, and it's not logical, but it is instinctive, it is primal. I mean, when you're walking outside on the street and you see a woman, what's the first thing that goes through your mind? I'm pretty sure it's not, oh wow, she must be very smart or she must be fun, she must have some really great hobbies. No. The first thing that goes through your mind is, oh my god, she's pretty. That is how it works. Women do the same thing, fellas. They look at you and they go, oh wow, he's cute, he looks good. That's how it works. It's instinctive. Now, that doesn't make people bad, it makes us human. I mean, looks are the entry point. They are definitely not the whole story, but they are the door, you know? And if there's no initial attraction, most women aren't going to stick around long enough to discover who you are, no matter how great you are. And this is where a lot of guys, get stuck. Here's where we, mess up. We say things like, "But hey, I'm a good guy, I have a good job, I make decent money, I have a nice house, and once you get to know me, she'll see." And all of that may be true. You might be the greatest of guys. But dating doesn't work like a slow burn novel. It works like real life. It's fast paced. Women need a reason to engage with you first. And if you don't give them something to engage with, well, then you can be the greatest of guys, but she'll never find out because she will not give you the time of day to engage with her. And here's the important part. When I say looks, I'm not talking about model level catwalk genetics. I'm talking more about presentation, grooming, style, fitness, posture, the energy you give off, how you carry yourself. And lucky for us, pretty much all of it is controllable. A man who is well groomed, a man who dresses decently, a man who takes care of his body and looks like he respects himself will almost always be more attractive than the man who doesn't do these things. Regardless of your facial structure, the size of your nose, the size of your ears, the color of your eyes, your height, all of it. Looks are less about perfection, it's more about effort. And let me tell you this, don't listen to all these women on TikTok and Instagram and all of it, It's a bunch of nonsense. You know, height is not what attracts women. The size of your wallet is not what attracts women. What attracts women is the way you present yourself. Like I said, grooming, style, fitness, your energy, the vibe, all of it. That is what attracts women. Trust me on that one. Now, I'm not going to say that, if you are a big guy, that isn't more attractive than if you're a smaller guy. I'm not saying that. But, that's not the whole picture. That's not the whole story. So focus on the things that you can control, which is the presentation of yourself. And when I say looks are less about perfection and more about effort, when I say effort, I'm talking about the thing that is deeper. And what I mean by that is that effort signals something that is deeper. It signals self respect, it signals discipline, it signals awareness. Those things are attractive because they hint at how you show up in other areas of your life. Somebody who is shredded, has a six pack and all of it. It's not about the six pack that is attractive. Sure, it looks good, I'm not going to lie. But what is more attractive is all of the things that that person has to do to get the six pack and keep the six pack, which is show up to the gym every day, do cardio every day, have a proper diet, go to bed on time, don't go out partying, all of those things, the discipline, the self respect, the showing up part. That is what is attractive, really. The same goes for somebody who has a very a high paying job, a fancy job title. It's not about the job per se. It's about, everything that person had to do to get there. The long hours, the studies, the diplomas that the person has to had to get. You know, that is what is attractive. Now, let's talk about the lie that a lot of us like to repeat, and that is, well, looks fade away, so they don't matter. Yes, looks fade over time, but attraction still matters, definitely in the beginning. Nobody starts a romantic relationship on long term values alone. It's a bunch of nonsense. There has to be some spark to get things moving. And to create a spark, I need to be able to talk to the woman. And she's not going to talk to me if she doesn't think that I'm at least a little bit attractive. So personality keeps someone, but looks invite them. And another thing that people get wrong is thinking that caring about your appearance makes you shallow or fake, but it really doesn't. Taking care of yourself is not vanity, it's responsibility. It's saying, hey, I value myself and I value people that I want to attract. And I want to attract the most attractive women that I possibly can. So, therefore, I will try to present myself in the most attractive way possible. And here's the uncomfortable truth: when a guy says, well, looks don't matter at all, she has to take me for who I am, what they often really mean is, I'm just a lazy bum. I don't want to put in the effort. I don't want to put in any effort in this part of my life. I don't want to put in the effort into this part of dating. Well, if that is the case, then yeah, you won't get the outcomes you want. So, effort is part of attraction on both sides for men and women. Men are visual, women are visual as well. And attraction is mutual. Both sides want to feel desired, and you will be desired if you are attractive. And both sides would like to have someone next to them who they think is attractive as well. That way you feel chemistry. And there's nothing wrong with that. What really matters is understanding where looks fit. I mean, they don't replace character, they don't replace emotional maturity, they don't replace values or communication. But without them, many connections never even get started. Think of looks like the trailer to a movie. A good trailer doesn't guarantee the movie is great, but a bad trailer means that most people won't watch it at all. Personality is the movie, but you still need someone to press play. So you better make sure that your trailer is the best of trailers you can make. And guess what? The good news: improving how you look is often one of the fastest, most easiest, most controllable upgrades you can make in dating. Better grooming, better fitting clothes, a bit more movement, go to the gym, do some cardio, eat a little bit better, be a little bit more aware of what you're doing. These things don't change who you are, but they will help you show who you are. And I know from experience, it definitely is true. So if you've been struggling with dating and telling yourself that looks shouldn't matter, I'd invite you to flip the mindset. Don't see looks as shallow. See them as a way of communication. You're communicating effort, self respect, and intention before you even open your mouth. That is attractive. And once the door is open, that's where your personality shows. the humor, your depth, the values. That's when you get to put in the real work. So, yes, looks absolutely matter, not because they're everything, but because they are the beginning. So, I hope that was helpful to you. Thanks. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.